Hey there, greetings everybody. I want to welcome you all here to the Prog Monster. My name is Murph and I am the host of this show. Sorry, just trying to organize my book here a little closer so I can see it. So anyways, we're here with the new series for the month of July. This is my 31 rock band related kind of series that I'm doing. I'm going to call this series Bands That Are Connected. So these are 30 rock bands that are connected somehow. And we're going to do this in this is the way I'm going to do it. You can do it however you want. If you want to add a million bands to the thing, you can do that. I'm not going to stop you. And you can put your own list in the comment section below at the end if you wish to. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to pick one band each day and talk about the bands that they are like related to and why they're related. So usually it'll be a connecting point. Somebody in the main band that we're going to talk about either played with or is going to play with that band. And I'm going to try to limit this to bands that are, at least had a record label and maybe even actually did something. And so as opposed to just, their childhood band with their three guys in it who never put out an album and only heard of because of him, right? I'm not going to do that because, in that case, you could probably have 70 bands in each episode, and we don't want to do that. So I'm just picking out kind of the main bands or the bands that had some impact in the music industry that were connected to the main band here. So we're going to start out with the first day, and I'll go through it as we go along. The first day, we're going to be talking about Greenslade. This is a band that I have all 5 of their albums. I like them. We're going to be ranking their albums very soon as well. And I thought they'd be a great band to start out with because I like them a lot. And they have a few other bands that are fairly well known that are connected to them. And so we're going to start with that. The other thing about it is that this isn't particularly a ranking series. So I won't be ranking these. These are not necessarily my 31st favorite to my first favorite or anything like that. Although I think the bands that come later will be more connected to me than the ones that come earlier, specifically because I know them better. But I'm not putting them in any particular order. So Greenslade's not necessarily number 31 here. It's just a band that I've decided that I want to put in this series who has some connections. And the purpose of the whole thing really is just so that you can, if you happen to like a particular band like Greenslade, you'll be able to find other bands that are connected to them in some way. And maybe from that, you could even go even further if you want to. But I'm not going to go like I left off some of the bands that were connected. So anybody who's in the band as a kind of the classical member or the original member, we're going to use them as guiding posts. If the guy came in and did a couple guitar licks on one particular album and then disappeared, I'm not going to mention the bands he's connected to, nor if somebody's only on the one album and really came in after the fact, I'm not really going to mention them either. So it's just basically the main guys. So anyways, the first band we're doing, Greenslade, we're going to get to it now, is the main band here of the connecting family band members. The next band that was connected to them is King Crimson. Now, some people may not see the connection here, but for those of you who follow this band, they will know that Andrew McCulloch played drums on this band. And from here, he went to Greenslade and became their drummer. We got Curved Air. Now, it's not necessarily the album that the guy played on, but it's the only one I have, so I'm using it as an example. So on this, we had David Lawson. So David Lawson, he played on some Curved Air material back in the day. Oh, actually, I got it wrong. It's Reeves, Tony Reeves. I was thinking of Andrew. I had David Lawson on the brain, but this is actually Tony Reeves. Tony Reeves played with Curved Air at points in time. I think actually occurred after he was with Greenslade. So, but they are a fairly well-known band, so they're in there. 2 of the other bands. Okay, so you got Coliseum. Actually, we'll go to the Dave Lawson connection now because that was the one I was thinking about. So he was with the Alan Bowen set, and they did quite a bit of stuff, and he was the keyboardist for that band. And then he came over when Greenslade was formed. He came over from them and joined. The other guy, the other two guys, Tony Reeve and Dave Greenslade, were what we would call jazz fusion or jazz musicians, and they came over from Coliseum, which is a very well-known jazz fusion band. So they came over from that to form. David Greenslade came over and brought Tony with him, and they formed Greenslade, bringing in Dave Lawson and Andrew McCulloch. So those are the bands that are kind of connected to them: Coliseum, King Crimson, Alan Bowen Set, and Curved Air. Those are the four that I kind of think of as family bands with them, related bands. So hopefully all this makes sense to you. This is the series I'm going to run for the month. We will be doing another one, of course, tomorrow of another band who has connections as well. And originally this was going to be the family series. The problem with it is I didn't want it to be literally family-related members. I mean, it could be, but it didn't need to literally be that. And that would be the context in which people would be thinking about it. So I decided to change it to those 31 rock bands related to each other in some way or fashion. So that's it for the opening episode. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you want, you can leave your comments in the comment section below, or you can put down a band that you think has a number of connections. Give some of those connections if you want, and we'll go forth from there. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe, and we'll see you tomorrow for another episode. Take care and goodbye here from the Prog Monster.